Well, today we are in a beautiful Gulf Coast city. Beautiful beaches, some of the best beaches actually in the world. Palm trees, warm weather, but don't let that beauty fool you. We are in the hometown of one of the biggest and most secretive cults in America. This is Clearwater, Florida, home of the Scientology spiritual headquarters. Today we're going to go explore what Scientology is like, the entire area they cover. Just a little fun fact is they cover a lot of Clearwater. They've created this entire buffer zone. So we're going to go check it out, see what we can find, and see if we can talk to some people, which I hear is going to be very hard to do. So let's go. So right now we're walking through one of the hearts of downtown. They have this beautiful area here, blocked off from vehicles, all for pedestrian traffic, but there's no people. This is lunchtime. It's just after 12 o'clock, and there's no one around. Now you have the welcoming center there for the Scientology, but most of the people you'll see on the street are city workers or people doing work on the buildings that are around downtown. Now this is the welcoming center. And it's not very welcoming. They're not the most friendly when you go in there, especially when you're holding any kind of camera equipment. This is the old Bank of Clearwater, now the Church of Scientology. It's a beautiful building, beautiful historic old bank. And this place is just empty. You have a couple people here and there, but this is not what you would normally see in a normal downtown. This is considered a ghost town. And one thing you'll notice is there are cameras everywhere, high-tech cameras watching your every move. Supposedly the cameras are so good that they can zoom in and see your phone when you're carrying your phone around. And one thing you'll notice is that as we go through the day, a lot of the people running around in these little blue uniforms are what they call their Sea Org people. And they live in these communal livings. Very, very odd. They devote their life to the church, and most people think about how you walk around, everybody has a phone in their hand these days. Everyone's looking at something, social media, whatever it is. These people don't have a phone. They're always clutching some kind of paperwork, usually in a brown bag or in a manila envelope. It's just the most odd thing there is. But the sad thing is you have all these businesses that don't get any business. If you look around me, look behind me, all the businesses are owned by Scientology, but they're empty storefronts, papered up windows, no action, no nothing, no life going on. All you see around here are people in little blue suits running around. So a little history on the church. It was founded by L. Ron Hubbard in 1950. Now keep in mind, he was a science fiction writer. Now, he founded the church, but kept everybody on boats for a long time, for many, many years, due to trying to avoid taxes and government and city regulations. A lot of places didn't want them around. So what they did was created something called Project Normandy. This was in 1975. They went into Clearwater and started buying up huge swaths of properties. Did this under the guise of basically charities, saying they were a charity, going in and buying up properties. To this day, they own over 180 properties, created this huge buffer. Now I'm gonna show you some of their main areas, like the flag building behind me. That's what we were walking in front of a little while ago. But they have their own bus system. And the people, now I'll give them full credit now. They're well-groomed, walking around in these little suits, little blue suits everywhere. They take good care of themselves, keep everything very professional looking. but they don't talk to anyone. And my understanding is that they will actually start following you. So as weird as this is really hard to film down here. They are swarming everywhere. And I just had a Clearwater police officer come up and say to me that you are not allowed on certain properties. You have to stay on the sidewalk. They are extremely odd and protective. When you say hi to the people, they don't respond. They just look at you. They are so robotic and so odd. It's just so hard to explain. But they're just everywhere. And this is their main flagship building, $145 million building. This is where they have all their trainings, all their audits. Supposedly they have a wall in there called the smell wall. It's supposed to help you discover 57 different senses. It is honestly the craziest thing. They are coming out of like every little crevice. I just walked by this building, someone popped out from that gate. And they are just like little ants. And they all have this like determination look on their face to get to their destination without seeing or talking to anyone. It's like they're little robots out here. It is really odd. I mean, they're, like I said, oh, there's their own little security force over there. I don't understand, for a church, why all the secrecy. Maybe they've just been harassed that much. I don't know. Cameras everywhere. The camera systems are apparently insanely good. Another camera system. I mean, they have the camera on point. Beautiful landscaping. It's a stunningly beautiful building. More cameras. You have to have a fob or a keypad to get into the building. It's pretty neat. They actually have their own little bus line. I'll show you in a second when I see one. But they have these little, not little, they're like city buses, but they're just completely white, clean energy buses, blacked out windows. And there's, you know what's interesting is there's not a lot of labeling. You can't see in anything, everything's tinted. Beautiful building, but very, very secretive. All the windows covered up, pulled tight. Just stunning, but there's one of the buses. So this is the main headquarters. This is called the Flag Building, but also AKA the Superpower Building. Like I was saying, they have a wall of smells. They have a gyro chamber in there to spin you and help you discover certain things. This is where the audits go down. Supposedly they do these audits. It's like counseling. Now keep in mind, they think, or the teachings of L. Ron Hubbard are that we are all immortal beings. And we have these things called thetans. And the goal is to clear the thetans from the body. And this is the old Fort Harrison Hotel. This was a historic hotel until they came in town and bought it. And of course they have the building. I just see people walking through there so they don't have to be on the street. Probably maybe for weather, maybe for hiding people. It's a beautiful little area that they've created, but they've bought, like I was saying, tons and tons of properties. Here's one of their buses. dark windows, just moving and shuttling people around. But they've created this huge buffer zone around these main corridors or headquarters. And I've seen pictures online of the inside of the place. It's absolutely beautiful. So at its core, Scientology teaches that we're all immortal spiritual beings called Thetans. Not just humans, they believe that Thetans have lived countless past lives, even on other planets. And the ultimate goal is to free yourself from the reactive mind. This is where the negativity and all the impure thoughts come from. Past traumas, pain from past lives. And when you're finally clear, you'll be free from fear, anxiety, sickness, disease. Now, one of the problems that people have had with it is when members have left the church, they've discussed what is called a disconnection policy. When you start in the church, you have to separate yourself from your family, friends, and people who aren't a part of the church. So keep in mind, the book that L. Ron Hubbard wrote was called the Book of Dianetics. That's their Bible. Now, L. Ron Hubbard is long gone, but the new leaders are not allowed to deviate from his teachings at all. They can't reinterpret anything. Everything has to be done by the book, so to speak. No pun intended, really. So as I was saying earlier, they go through what are called audits, the counseling sessions, and they hold this thing called the E-meter. It's like 2 soup cans with a wire on them. Now this meter, what it does is it senses their mind, supposedly. It senses their sweat and their palm, the energy in their hands, and it's helping them find, while they're being audited or counseled, negative energies that they can expel. This is their way on to getting a clear mind, as they call it, getting rid of the reactive mind. And I literally just had somebody pull up in a car and talk to me and ask me if I was part of the church. They were expressing how the church is destroying Clearwater in the downtown area. And these were younger women, and they were just saying that they just feel so uncomfortable living in the downtown area because of the church. So when it comes to getting a clear mind, they have these achievement levels called the OTs. And it's like OT, I think the highest level is OT 8. And when you hit OT 8, they supposedly reveal these amazing secrets to you about all the teachings. But I think realistically, most people haven't received or achieved that OT 8 level. Now, according to teachings, 75 million years ago, an overlord named Theta, not Theta, is it Theta? Xanu, I'm sorry, Xanu. The planet they were on was overcrowded, so they took half of the population of that planet, brought them to Earth, put them in a volcano, and used an hydrogen bomb to blow them up. Now, those people are part of the negative energies that are in people today that they're trying to clear the mind of. All these old historic buildings are owned by Scientology, but they're empty. They just leave them empty. Papered up, doors shut, locked. So just rows and rows of buildings, empty. And little people in their little suits. Some of them are wearing vests. Like I said earlier, dressed very nicely, but not many cars. Definitely no people. I hear a squirrel. So they have this thing called a fair game policy. Now, the fair game policy, from my understanding, is that if you're not a part of Scientology, you don't believe in the teachings of Scientology, you are fair game to be silenced, harassed, and even sometimes the stories have said hurt. People have been supposedly, allegedly, run over by cars crossing the street on accident, supposedly. But just all kinds of like weird, scary things. United for Human Rights, The Way to Happiness, just empty buildings. Foundation for a Drug-Free World. Where are the people? So this would be a great definition of camera state or Big Brother. Cameras everywhere. Cameras, cameras. This is a serious, serious surveillance state. Had to take a little break. It's a little warm today. Get me a little cold brew. But if you look across the street, all the people heading back and forth to all the little buildings for the Scientology teachings. And keep in mind, something I didn't cover, in these courses are anywhere from thousands of dollars to sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars, I'm told people spend. And most of the people I've seen today, I would say are fairly young, 40-ish or under, 20s, 30s. Now, when I was in there getting my Starbucks, I was talking to the people that were there and also some of the employees, and they mentioned that nobody comes in there. Everybody from the church has to use church cafeterias, restaurants, whatever they have. So they're not contributing to the local economy by using the businesses around. That's part of the issues that a lot of the locals in Clearwater are having, is that it's putting a damper on things. They're buying up all the properties, keeping it as a ghost town to create a buffer, and they're not using local business. Here's their little vans. A bus just went by. And the huge hotel. It really is amazing how many of them there are. Now, I don't really want to put judgment on anything about this Scientology. It's really not my place to judge. I just came to show the video, share, and let you make the judgment. What I will do, though, is give you the textbook definition of cult. Now, a cult defines a charismatic leader who demands loyalty and obedience, isolation from outsiders, or opposing viewpoints, control over others' lives, behaviors, finances, and relationships, manipulation using fear, guilt, promises of salvation, enlightenment, and us versus them mindset. Outsiders are not welcome. Well, I just ran into some more people that live here locally, and I gotta tell you, they are not cool with this Church of Scientology. They have nothing good to say. Actually, a pretty strong opinion about them, and it's not good. But one last thing I wanna show you is Tom Cruise's building. He's one of the most famous Scientologists. Now that is his building. The top 2 floors are his units. It has his own private entrance, and get this, an elevator that can handle 9 cars that take it up to his floor. He has rooftop access with a pool and hot tub. That is pretty nice. He apparently bought it for $11 million back in 2018. All right, so I was just being followed to my car. I thought these were all rumors, but I noticed a white BMW X5 trailing me as I was walking to my car. I got farther away, parked in a public parking place, and I noticed this car. So I got in my car and I noticed the car go by me. The guy in the driver's seat had a camera, was filming me. I went and made him, basically he went behind me, got my tag, was taking pictures of my tag, but I didn't leave, basically was on a dead end. It forced him to go around me. I filmed him as he went around me. It is the most bizarre thing and is the weirdest thing. It's really got my adrenaline going. I was trying to reserve my opinion, but this is not normal behavior. I've been into a lot of cities, a lot of towns, filming, doing exploring videos, never been followed. That is a form of harassment, in my opinion. I'd love to know what you think about it. It is super odd, unusual behavior. This is maybe a demonstration of what they call their fair game policy that supposedly is not in action or in use. If you're a journalist, if you're a critic, an ex-member, they will harass you, sue you, hurt you, do anything that they deem necessary to quiet you. Very odd, very unusual behavior. Little disappointing because I honestly thought a little more positive things about the church coming out and seeing it myself. But let me know what you think in the comments. Again, I appreciate you watching as always, and I will see you on the next adventure.